So here's a bit of an odd one for you. I was looking for a CD-compatible rip of Capcom vs. SNK 2 for the Sega Dreamcast, and I happened to stumble upon this seemingly fan-made Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Collection. And so I kind of put together that this would, of course, be a collection of various Capcom vs. SNK games that were on the Dreamcast, packaged onto one disc with some form of launcher program, like a custom software launcher that would allow you to select between the individual games. What I didn't expect was the exact way in which they would do that. As it turns out, they actually loaded a custom website onto the disc. It's not really a website, I guess, because it's, completely disconnected from the internet, but I guess it's just an HTML site. It's a whole bunch of HTML pages, completely custom made, and using, I can't tell if it's a modified version of one of the official Dreamcast browsers, or maybe even an unmodified one. I don't know too much about Dreamcast web browsers, but basically you've got different pages here for each of the individual games, but it's actually not just as simple as you click on one of these and it launches the game. There's actually more on offer here. You can see if I click on CVS2 here, what we actually get is a sort of menu that takes you to several different pages, including things like a move list, where you can actually find the moves for the specific character you're looking for, although, hilariously enough, the move list here seems to be a screenshot from, if I'm not mistaken, the Strategy Wiki website. And in addition to that, you may have noticed this option here labeled Save File. This actually downloads a 100% unlocked save file that's stored on the disk and allows you to download it to your VMU. Obviously, this is not the only example of something like this. I mean, there's literally an entire program called Dream Explorer that is just loaded with just hundreds of save files for games. I actually don't know the exact number, but the point is, this is not the only program that does something like this. It's just kind of interesting to see it in a context like this, where it's clearly whoever put this together wanted this to be like the most convenient way to play these games, so they went ahead and included not only the games themselves just ready for you to play, but also save files in case you didn't feel like going through and unlocking everything yourself. And of course, most importantly, you can actually just play the game. You'll see if I click on this here, it actually launches into the game, and before too long, I'm in a match fighting against some various characters. I usually pick Mai Shiranui on my team whenever I play, well, pretty much any game that has her in it, but for some reason my mind completely blanked here. I think I was looking for Felicia, then I was like, oh, that's right, she's not in this game, so I just defaulted to Cammy. Now, I don't really know if any content has been cut or compromised from any of these games. I mean, considering there's, 3 or 4 different games loaded onto this single disc, it's hard to imagine that the games are completely unaltered, but I don't really know enough about these games, and I haven't done enough digging to figure out what exactly has been compromised, but there is an NFO file included with this release, so maybe I'll have a look through that and put some kind of editor's note or maybe some extra narration in here. So I had a quick look through that readme.nfo file, and found some things I kind of expected and some things I didn't expect. First of all, we have confirmation that the move lists are in fact taken from strategywiki.org, because the README file specifically calls out that website, saying the move list may be difficult to read for players using CRT televisions. If you're having a difficult time viewing the move lists, they are identical to the move lists found here. And then it points to the strategy wiki for Capcom vs. SNK. Additionally, we have confirmation that the raw game data is seemingly completely unaltered, because all they really say is that the games were all sourced from GDIs to ensure there are no corrupt files. So I'm assuming they were able to take the raw data from those gigadiscs and just copy them into their own like CD-friendly format without overfilling the disc. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it seems like the games must have been small enough to properly fit on there. So that's good. It seems like there's no compromises being made there. Additionally, something that kind of caught me by surprise is that they actually included a shortcut for resetting back to the launcher menu. When you're in game, you have to press start A, B, X, Y, L, and R all at the same time, and it will reset back to the menu. And oh yeah, apparently the compilation is based around the XDP web browser, which I suppose must be a homebrew web browser, because that doesn't sound like any official Sega thing. But yeah, there really was an amazing amount of effort put into this compilation disc, and I am kind of amazed by it, and hopefully you are too.